Hey guys, give me a 5 for 5 and we'll roll right on through. Oh my God, already. Hey B, hey Hopkinson, good to see everybody. Franklin, Silver Fox, Leah, I seen you in here. John got the cookie first here. Marilyn, Martin, Surgery. Hey guys, please share this out. Again, I'm probably going to say that for a good while. That's the best way you guys can support. It really is. It really does help push the video out. Hey, Butterfly, Gina. Yeah, guys, I'm still really, really sick. So that's why I didn't do a video yesterday, and I'm not sure if I even put a community post out. I think I did. I can't remember. I'm sleeping a lot. It's really wiping me out. That, I had a friend of mine get put in hospice, so it's just been a bad time. But he's fighting stuff that I used to fight with infection and stuff. He's already lost one leg, and the doctor said he couldn't. He's got an infection in his other leg now, and he said he didn't think he would survive another surgery. So they sent him home to hospice, but I'm hoping, praying, having a little bit of faith there that that can get flipped around. So anybody out there that does prayers and good thoughts and all that, my friend's name is Robert, and even through all this, he's been positive. Yeah, I go to a facility, an outpatient facility, to get Suboxone for the addiction, the opiate addiction I had, and he's in my group, and he showed up for group while he's in hospice. It amazes me when people do stuff like that. It's just tells you who that person really is. And you know, I've been clean, well, sober I should say, for 13, 14 years, right around there. Fortunate enough never to have relapsed, thanks to my wife and family and my strong support system. That's the only reason why. But I tell you what, guys, I've seen a lot throughout that time period, and he stands out being the positive role model. I'm telling you, all the stuff he's been through and all that, it's just man, I'm probably going to do that a lot. So please just hang in there with me. But okay, so share, like, subscribe. I've been getting some messages too, and this is platform wide, guys. People are getting unsubscribed like in masses. It's kind of, every once in a while they'll do a a subscriber purge anyway. If you haven't watched somebody's channel for a good amount of time, they will just, you know, unsubscribe you from that channel because it throws off the analytics. It's not really a correct analytic if you're subscribed to somebody and you don't really watch them. So that's why YouTube does that, but I don't think that's what's going on here this time. I'm not really sure what's happening, but it's not, I haven't seen a big bunch of that here, but I have seen a few people tell me that they were not subscribed, and that hence they weren't getting notifications. So just keep that in mind. Just check, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that hit the notification thing, and remember always to hit all, because you can get some notifications or all. You know, I try to stream roughly once a day, and it's not always at the same time. I'm trying to narrow that down, and we have kind of landed on between like 6 and 9 p.m. every day. And this week I've been sick, but prior to that, I was holding pretty close to it. So I'm starting to find a little bit of the rhythm, and but so that's what's going on with that. That, you know, the super chat stuff is turned on. If anybody wants to help me there, that's great too. If not, no worries. I don't ever expect it. It's appreciated, never expected. So, okay. Now, that was a whole lot of words for, yeah, I get ripped up. Maybe I should have waited to the end of the stream to talk about that, but I didn't want to wait. I want to get that all out of the way. Okay, so we are 5 for 5, right? I think I seen somebody in there telling me that. Yeah, okay, cool. And if you were watching somebody else's live stream, I think Mark might be over now. I can't really, hold on a minute. I'm not sure if the shout show started yet, but always stay there. If I go live during their live stream, please stay there and come watch me on replay. I feel horrible, but I don't have a choice right now. I have to live stream right now or I won't be able to do it. So, anyway, so we've had multiple eruptions on the 8th. You can see all these happening. This is Soho. I'll tell you what. Let's go up here. Satellite sits right out in front of Earth, always looking at the sun. It's about 1 million miles closer to the sun. So it's our perspective, and so that's what you're looking at when you see this. Okay, that black occulter disc is always there. It is a physical disc on the camera. Okay, on the imager. So with that being said, when things are shot off like that, and it looks like we got a halo around the whole thing, energy kind of poking around, it kind of looks like a shadow or a halo. That's why they call it that. We don't know if it's coming right at us or going off the backside. So we have to figure that out. And the only other way we can figure that out, the fastest way, is to go look at a different satellite. And stereo A used to be at 90 degrees. Okay? Stereo A is actually here too. See this? It used to be way over here. Okay? It's no longer there. It's hanging out by Earth. So it's outlived its lifespan, so we don't get that side view. So with that being said, yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Israelites. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So I don't feel so bad now. I was trying to wait. And I guess I waited long enough. Hey, Axe Nacho. Hey, guys, get up there and check out their channel. One of my favorite Canucks. I'm telling you, they're awesome. They're funny. They do good music. Great stuff. Go check out their channel, guys. Axe, you can drop your link anytime you want, bud. Or Nacho. I'm not sure whose account that is. Usually both of you. So, but yeah. But again, guys, please share. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's hard enough to get back out there, and without anybody, you know, you guys have been doing a really good job sharing it for me and coming back and leaving me comments. That is so helpful. I can't say it enough. So anytime we get CMEs, okay, they're going to show up here on seeds, either in an orange or a red color. Here's the difference in color. The event width between 60 and 120 degrees. Thank you for that. Thank you, AK, forever in my heart. It's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So that's what it means when it shows up in that yellow or orange color. The red one means it's greater than 120 degrees, which means it's most likely a more powerful one because it spreads out. The span that it moves is just wide, okay? So what that means is typically it's got a better chance of hitting us. Hey, V. Sugar surgery. Okay, I got to quit looking at the chat. I'm sorry. I'm really, yeah. Anyway, so when you see that, guys, you know, just click on right here. And I highly encourage you guys to check out these websites, okay? Now, we can look at the other information. See, when I show you this, I can show you the exact same satellite on a different website. ISWA. And it's other places also. Okay? Here it is right here. This is ISWA. It's the same exact view. Okay? So, and there's those eruptions. And frankly, ISWA actually gives you more real time. If you look at the time frame here, it's giving us roughly about, it's UTC time, so it's 4 hours difference between UTC and Eastern Standard Time here in the States. So do your calculations for where you live, and you'll probably get a decent idea of what's going on there. But this one will give us more data. You see this? You see this big, another eruption? That's not even showing up on seeds yet. And I've seen this one. This one's actually fairly significant, and I'll show you guys. That's actually my thumbnail, believe it or not. When I was sitting here waiting, I had a whole different thumbnail, but I changed it because of that eruption right there. Okay. Now remember that that's the occulter disk. This is the surface. Okay. That's the surface of the sun. So let's go back to seeds and hit start. We'll check it out again here. And you're going to see more. It's going to be more and more eruptions here. I'll probably go back one more day here. And let's go back to the 7th to see what we got. We've been having quite a few eruptions. I'll just say that. But the majority of them really aren't coming our way. I think Timothy Scove did a video on the solar storm hitting us now, okay? Because it's hitting right now. And I've mentioned to you guys before that coronal holes can help steer CMEs, okay? And this is a really good way. The way that this happened is a good way for me to show you that. Now, see that little coronal hole right there? So particles are flying out of that, and they have a polarity, negative, positive. And they have the forces just get ejected out and everything else, right? So if you have that increased solar wind stream, and then you have a CME also, it can pull some of those particles over. In other words, making it wider than what it was. It helps steer it, whatever direction it's in, right? So NOAA's forecast model here. This is hey, what's going on, Jammer? She might have been Jammer. I've kind of lost a little bit of my time frame here. But anyway, this is NOAA. It's in a little spiral. And what you got is a top-down view and a side cut, okay? This is NOAA's version of this model. NASA's will not match this. They never exactly match. They use the same model, but they hold different data points to higher levels, so that it changes their model in the way that it's way it shows us visually, okay? When they both agree, that's when we know we're probably going to get a good decent hit out of things. So let me, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit because I want you guys to see this. So this, again, this is top down. Now these little spirals you see here, that's a coronal hole stream. Not even really a hole. It's just it's a stream of solar wind. But watch what happens here. Okay, see what happened there? Let me pause it. And it's a really good example of what I've been talking about and what a lot of people have already known for years. I'm just now talking about it. I mean, I know that this happens, but it wasn't like what the heck happened there? Oh, I know what happened. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I can't zoom any further, so let's just take a look at it here. Remember, the sun's in the middle, the earth is the yellow ball. This is stereo A, and over here, stereo A and B. They plot that there. But you can see over here on the graph also that it's showing an increase. Now look at the range here. It's going from 0 to 25, probably 30 is the highest range there on density. Typically, this really reads 0. It'll have a 1, have a 10 at the top. Okay, so this is a dense hit. Denser than normal, I should say. Now for a solar storm, no, it's not really all that huge. But regardless, but watch what happens here. Okay, so you got this coronal hole stream right here. See how this is a little bit more strong than the other ones around it, more dense anyway? It's from that coronal hole. All right, now if I move forward here, then you get this CME erupting. Notice it's not touching anything here, but watch when it gets about right here. You're going to see this coronal hole stream draw some of those particles over to it. See that? It bends it, it changes the shape of it even. Okay? So, yeah. If that coronal hole stream hadn't been there, this one here would almost definitely have went to the south of Earth. So with that being said, you know, you got this going on, and this is exactly what I think is happening. You know, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but that's what this model looks like to me is showing. Because we do know that these things, the coronal holes can help steer them. And oftentimes you will get eruptions around the holes, okay? So I definitely wanted to show you this because this is why. Now, I don't know if this is what Noah expected from the beginning. I'm assuming that it was pretty close to the beginning because this gives us 2 days historic data and tries to forecast 5 days out in advance. So if we go back here to 2 days, that's when this, right here, is when this model was updated. So it was updated almost 2 days ago. This has looked the same for 2 days. So take that in consideration also. And the fact that they didn't come change it. If something changes for them, they will come in and change the model before anything happens. And that's exactly what they should do. Some people get upset about that. You know, I don't, because I want to know what's happening. You know, take in consideration stuff like here on our planet, when we have hurricanes. How hard is that to track? You know what I mean? How many times do you see them change their spaghetti string models? What would we expect for something 93 million miles away that gets blasted at us in a general direction that we're going to be exact the second that it comes off the sun? That's just not feasible, guys. And so, you know, don't be so critical of that. That's what I'm saying there. Now, I'm not saying don't ask questions when things look weird, okay? I mean, that's 100% what you should do. But also be receptive when there's an explanation for it. So that's what I'm trying to say. And whatever your opinion is on all that, it's your opinion. I have mine. I'm nowcasting. So that's what I do here, right? You know, I'll give my opinion, and I'll tell you it's my opinion, but that's as far as I go with it. So, geomagnetic storm. I'm not sure if we're not there yet. Okay, we may not even get to G1. We could, may not. But we're close. But even if we do, it's not going to be a massively big solar storm. Right now, the bigger thing for me is this R1 storm, and it's not a big thing either, but that's from a flare. Okay? And that flare, when it popped off, it caused radio blackouts on the day side of the planet. So let's run this model. This is the background X-ray, and this is in the D region, and it's showing, basically it shows you where the flares hit. And I've shown you guys this a lot. Okay, right about there. Okay, if you matched up the time frame here, 1:23 on the 9th, and you come up here and you see when the flares happened, 1:23 on the 9th, right there. Okay, so that's what happened there. That's why the X-ray got increased, because of that flare. But prior to that, which we can't look at down here because it doesn't go back far enough yet, or it's passed, too much time has passed, so it doesn't show it. But this one right here, that is where the radio blackouts came from, not this second one that I just showed you. Okay, not even close. Okay, this did not get into M flare territory. So, all right. So where's SDO? I'm getting ready to show you a satellite here. This is SDO. It's in geosynchronistic orbit. It stays in this figure 8 pattern. It stays over this part of our planet all the time. Okay, but it's always turning to look at the sun. All right, this thing will spin, it rotates, that's what happens. That's how it works. Okay, that's the location of the satellite, this one. So you can see that coronal hole. Now, if I went back further, and I could, I'm not really going to, I don't think. I guess I could. Hold on. Let's just let that one run and update here. We'll do that real quick. But I'm going to show you this. This is the 304 angstrom from the same satellite. Now remember, it's from our point of view, but this is extreme ultraviolet. We can't see this part of the light spectrum, so they put a filter on it. But check that out. That's that last eruption I showed you guys a minute ago. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Now, this thing is not coming at Earth. Doesn't look to be. Okay. So this is not a like Earth-directed thing. Again, it's going off to the south. I guess there might be, if it kind of flicks the right direction, we I guess possibly could catch a glancing blow, but in my opinion, that's probably not going to happen. And even if it does, it would not be a big deal. Okay, so see how that busted right there? That's a magnetic filament that was laying on the sun. You see that? Okay, and it starts to lift off. It's getting destabilized. Boom, there you go. Just like the filament in an incandescent light bulb. That little wound up part in the middle of your light bulb, before we had LEDs. Wham! Right? Jeff P's in the hizzy. Hey, Kathy, aloha. Hope you're feeling all right. Hey, Christian, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, you guys have been with me for a long time, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So, yeah. So that's what's happening with that. Now, again, the sun's starting to pick up in activity again. We had a lull there for about a week. But I want you guys to notice how much is going on here. That's a lot of plasma. Okay, it's a magnetic connection line on the sun here. And charged particles are flowing on that. So that's what you're looking at. So when stuff becomes unstable and it starts to lift off, watch it snap right in the middle. Boom. Okay, so if I brought it back here, it almost looks like a heart. But you see how that happens? And then you see a lot of it go back down. A lot of it went back to the sun, but the stuff in the middle got ejected out. And we could confirm that by looking at this. Okay? Or I can just scroll down here and show it to you here. That's that filament ripping off there. It's kind of funny how I said incandescent light bulb. Look at this. This looks like a light bulb with a filament right in the middle, doesn't it? I just now noticed that. That's kind of crazy. It's just odd. It's not nothing weird or nothing, guys. There's nothing significant about that. It's just the way that it looks. Okay? So let me draw it back down here real quick. Let's go. Now remember, this is on SOHO. It's that satellite about 1 million miles closer to the sun. And also, remember, the surface is here. So that Coulter disk has to be there to block a lot of the light. So, but yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, Kathy. But it probably was. I don't know. Unless it's like attacking somebody, guys. Remember what I said, you know, guys. This is, you can say what you want as long as it's respectful. So mods, please keep that in mind. I always back my mods, but I also want to make sure that, and I know a lot of times it's just protecting me, and I get it, and I appreciate it. But I've grown some thick skin here on the internet. You have to grow it if you want to be a creator. I've been called every name in the book. And you know what I do when people do that? I want it to stay there because it shows the rest of the world what they are. And I know that I'm not that. So that's all that matters. You guys know I'm not. Those, unless they're attacking somebody else personally, saying something bad about somebody else's channel, just let those kind of comments just fly, okay? I'm not sure if it was a mistake or not, but that's just kind of the thing, you know. Now, if it's cussing, vulgar and stuff, that is offensive to a lot of people. So please don't do that. That will not be tolerated. We won't do that here. But yeah. My mods work really hard, and Kathy works really hard. She's been here right there with Miss V and Christian and everybody else that's been here since the beginning. And I tell you, that's not an easy job. Ask them. So anyway, this is Stereo A. It is from our point of view now. So yeah. Now this is sunspots. See how these are all holding some energy? So when we look at this, the polarities show up in red and blue. Okay? So when they start intermingling with each other, they start becoming unstable. This one is starting to become really unstable. There's also a few models out there you can actually see the dynamics of the magnetic fields themselves and how they're kind of looping around each other and all of that. Oh, Kathy. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought that was, I think you accidentally timed somebody out for Christian Lobner. You timed him out for 60 seconds. I thought you had just made a mistake, but no, you didn't do anything wrong. Even if you did actually time somebody out, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. Okay? I sometimes don't clarify what I want done in the chat. It's my fault. That all lays on me anyway. Okay? And that's why I just went ahead and verbally said it, because I don't think that nobody did anything wrong, really. The comment wasn't nothing bad, and you didn't do anything wrong. And let me tell you something, guys. More times than not, we hit the wrong button. And if you were like getting on your other device, I definitely can see it. Yeah. So no, Kathy, no worries at all. Please. Never worry about that. Okay. Because I know who you are, and I know what kind of person you are, and you wouldn't do something like that intentionally. So anyway. So you got these magnetic fields in the cores the different polarities, what happens is when they reconnect back down to the sun, that's when they flare. Because they start connecting with each other, moving around, doing all kinds of things. Okay? So when they do get that connection back, that's when it does flare. Boom. Okay? So I'll just leave that there. Now, we're going to have to watch this one. This one is in front of us. There's another one over here. Okay, now these are pretty far apart. They're not really close enough to really have a big flare potential. But this sunspot in particular is holding enough energy to produce X-class flares. Okay, it's in a position, it's being destabilized, so we have to watch this one, at least until it gets way over here. And even when it gets over here, if it blows off, it'll give us a radiation storm if that's an X flare going that direction, because it'll hook onto our magnetic connection line. So, or our interplanetary magnetic field line, our connection to the sun. When a CME rushes over top of that stuff, the protons from it can be grabbed. Even if it looks like it's going off the backside, the protons can actually get on that magnetic connection line that we have with the sun and travel almost backwards to us. That's how it works, okay? So this is the same view. This is just a black and white version, okay? But I like to show this one because I can show you magnetic polarity. Okay, so right now we are getting, like I said, getting hit. And so let me show you what's happening with our magnetic field. So this is our magnetosphere, and the top is the velocity. Okay, this is velocity, which is speed. It's measured in kilometers per second. So when you got the darker reds and the darker blues, that's the same speed. Okay, -600 and 600 is the same speed. It just means the particles are traveling the other direction. Okay, so that's what that is. And we do get reconnection stuff that happens. We'll get hit here in the front, and that's why this stuff will turn blue, and it'll look like it comes from about right here. And you'll see it circle back in. That's what's happened. It's reconnecting. All right, now we do get like cosmic rays and stuff from behind us. Hi, Tyga Zinzi. What's going on? Hey, Warden. Missed it in the house. Oh, yeah, baby. Angela, what's up? Virginia. Okay, so that's your speed. This is density. Now, the white colors are lower density. Remember, stuff's going from left to right. The sun's to the left. This is our bow shock. It's the first point of contact from solar wind to our magnetic field. It's not really impressive right now, you know, but that's what's happening. Now, I will say this is magnetic pressure. Same thing, only showing you magnetic pressure. So that is quite a bit of magnetic pressure around our planet right now. But it's not like excessive. So I'm thinking that we're probably not going to get to a G1 storm. So yeah, unless something else changes here, I don't see it happening. This is the Australian model. The magnetosphere model. Okay, it's the same model I just showed you guys, but this is just simplified. I like this one a lot because that's our bow shock and you get to see it move, right? So let's go back to the 8th and watch when this stuff started hitting. You're going to see this thing jumping around big time. You're going to get compression and then rapid expansion. And it happens really quick. Okay, so this is our satellite line too, where a lot of our satellites hang out. If this gets inside that satellite line and these satellites are exposed, it can damage them. Okay? See that? Look. I just happened to catch that. Look at that. Check that out, guys. So we got hit with, that's why, check it out, 119 on density. That's a very, very dense hit. And that probably came from that combination of solar wind from the coronal hole and the CME at the same time. Okay, so that's what probably happened there. But yeah, it's kind of, you know, there you go. I mean, that shows you right there. Those satellites are, if they're not exposed, they were close to it. Okay, look at it. That definitely is inside the satellite line right there. Back that up again. See how quick we move though? So if I go forward, watch what happens. These are 1 minute increments, guys. Okay? Every minute you get a data point. So you go 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Look how much further it shot right back out in a minute. Okay? So that's rapid expansion. It's going back the other direction. We got compressed, and then finally our magnetics won that battle for a few minutes, and it was able to push things back out. So it's helping deflect things. Okay? So that's what's happening there. I just think that this model is awesome for the mere fact that it's so simple to understand. You don't get much more simple than this. Now, I will say that sometimes in our minds and our brains can understand this visually better, okay? Because this is kind of, they're trying to use techniques that kind of mimic 3D stuff. But you have to remember, this is still two-dimensional. Okay, so you have a top-down view and a side cut. If it was three-dimensional, you wouldn't have to have that. It would just look like it, right? So remember, we're sitting in basically the middle of a donut. That's really what our magnetic field looks like. It's curved like that, guys. It's not a straight line or a sheet, okay? So, you know, Dr. Magnetosphere, she uses the slinky example. You know, you take that slinky and you pull it around the ball, and that's really what our magnetic field looks like around us. So you can see the North and South Pole, how things get drawn in more, because it's following those lines. So, but yeah. This is the geoelectric field model from the other day. This is, I'm showing you this because, is this the one from the other day? Nope, it's not. This is the one right now. Okay? This is the geoelectric field at the surface. Ben did a video on what this exactly is showing you. And it's pretty much what I said. He just did a lot better job of explaining it than I did. But just for really basic stuff here, it's trying to represent space weather's effect on unnatural electrical components, such as switches, wires, all that stuff, transformers. Okay, now they added Canada. This didn't used to be here. Okay, it was just the United States, but it's like 3 or 4 months ago now that they added Canada to this thing, and it makes it easier to understand because we know the stuff comes in at the poles easier, right? So typically when we get hit geomagnetically, our geoelectric will react also. So you can see it come in at the top. Look, it's more intense up here, right? And it kind of filters down. Now another question, and I've been saying this since, gosh, 2 years ago. I was asked, why do we see it more intense here on a regular basis? It kind of stays more intense. Well, there's a few reasons for that, but you have a mountain range here. Number one, the Appalachian mountain range. Number two, around higher populated areas, because that's what you get. There's more unnatural electrical components around the populated areas because more people are there. So it's affecting more things, is what I'm trying to say. So when we see it react like this is kind of normal. That isn't really all that excessive. But let me show you something that's excessive. This was just the other day. And I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this already. So watch this. And it doesn't last very long, but it definitely was a hit. Look at that. Okay. Now we've seen it do this before. And it was a hit, right? So our geoelectric field at the surface was being affected in a big way. Okay, you see how long that lasted? That didn't last anything longer than an hour, okay? And it didn't come back. Now, we had, like, the day later, we had a similar one, but it wasn't as intense. But, you know, and so they're using this to kind of gauge and try to help forecast earthquakes. That's why the USGS is right here, okay? So they're all working together. They're using all these models. They're trying to figure out what's this, what's that. And I don't typically get into the earthquake realm because I'm not knowledgeable enough. I would send you to everybody you guys talk to. Everybody. Go watch them all. Because I promise you that sometimes they will all get it wrong, and sometimes they will all get it right. So listen to them, make up your own mind, all of it, right? Now, you know, Ron over at Emergency Management Associates, he's a really good dude. You guys should go check him out. He's a really good supporter. He's a great guy. Go check out Emergency Management Associates. And Terry Rumpel, he's got his own channel too. So go check him out too. And obviously the big ones, you know, Dutch and everybody else. Those are names I probably don't have to say because everybody checks it out anyway. I mean, they're the biggest ones on the net. So when it comes to stuff like that. And again, guys, I'm a high proponent of people watching everybody. Because I trust that you guys are smart to make up your own minds. And you guys can understand things. And, you know, some people put their information out in a way that kind of talks down to people. And I refuse to do that. Because you're not doing anything good when you're doing that. People are not receptive to that. So you quit learning. That's the other thing that happens to people that do that. They don't think they can be taught anything anymore. So at the second they think they know everything about a subject, it is the exact moment they quit learning anything about that. And that's a direct 180 of what we should be doing scientifically. We should always question and re-question what we think is reality. But on the back end of that, we have to be able to accept what the actual truth is. Whether it comes from whoever, right? An alternative source or a mainstream source. If it's the truth, that's the side that I'm on. So that's why I tell you guys to watch everybody. Because it's important to do that. It really is. Because you can't get all the information like we could a long time ago when it was nothing more than just reporting things without opinion. It's not like that anymore. So now everybody has their opinions thrown in there and it confuses people. So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't be confused. Listen for the data, not the opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys are smart, and you guys have shown me that time and time again. Okay? So, anyway, the KP, which is this is the measurement they use for geomagnetic activity. A KP of 5 will directly affect and go straight over to a G1 storm, just like a thunderstorm warning system. Okay? So, yeah. Oh, I love that, Christopher. That's awesome. Never stop questioning, never stop learning. That's how science is supposed to work, 100%. That's an awesome comment. Also, I had a question in the comment section asking about how solar wind gets here and all those kinds of things. I'm not going to be able to address that tonight, but I'm going to try to give a full explanation on that. I can't remember who asked me the question. I replied in the comment section, but whoever you were, I'm sorry. I ain't got the time, and frankly, guys, I ain't got the energy. I am still not feeling good at all. I wouldn't say I'm better, and I wouldn't say I'm worse. I'm kind of just hanging there. So, but anyway, so you got the KPs here, right? This is the same measurement. They're calling it the HP, though, because this is a 30-minute data plot, right? 30-minute average, and they give you a data plot here to look at. So it's more real time than this in the sense that these are 3-hour averages. So instead of getting an update every 3 hours, we can go over here and get it every 30 minutes. And oftentimes, like over here, it'll only show you getting to like a KP of 5. And if you pop over and take a look at this, sometimes we'll pop up to a KP of 6, 6.5 for 30 minutes and then pop back down. That's a higher storm level for that short period of time. So it's kind of important, in my opinion, especially if you're talking about these higher ones. If that happens during like a 8 or a 9, that's a big difference between an 8 and a 9. Because as it goes up, the stuff that can happen exponentially gets greater. Okay? It's not like just going... The difference between a 4 and a 5 is not the same as it is between an 8 and a 9. If you go from an 8 to a 9, you're talking lots of bad things, right? If you're talking the difference between a 3 and a 4, we're not talking a whole lot, right? That's the difference, okay? That's why it's better to get it as real time as we can. So, yeah. So what can we expect, guys? Well, I don't know if we're going to get into storm level. That's what I'll say right this second, okay? We could. But chances are, from what I'm looking, and this is just my opinion, I don't know if we will. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? Now, this is the NASA tracker, okay? That's the same one as this one. This is NOAA's. Remember I said they were different? It's the same model, but they take things into consideration differently. They don't match. This is an eruption that happened not too long ago. It's not coming at us, so I wasn't, no concern, right? It's one of, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Is that the 7th or the 8th? Go back. Okay. It's one of the ones that popped off over here. There were 2 of them, decent size this direction. Okay? So, yeah. Hey, Flamin', good to see you, brother. Monks in the hizzy, seeking truth. Heck yeah, baby. And again, guys, I'll take all the prayers I can get. That's 100%. I mean, yeah. And for my friend Robert, guys, please pray for him. He's in hospice, and he's just such a positive person. I hate to, yeah. But that's what's going on with that. So, now, again, let's take a look at spaceweather.com because I want to show you something pretty cool. All right. I'm not going to read these articles to you. Now, they got us under a geomagnetic storm watch, but I don't think we're going to get there. Okay, we still could, but, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll come out here and tell you guys. But he's talking about Aurora, right? So during this one on March 3rd, we had some pretty big Aurora because it was a G2 storm. And we've been talking about these Aurora a lot because things are happening further south than what they used to. And the reason why is our magnetic field is weakening. But if you want to talk about this, a lot of people would say, oh, that's just Aurora. It's not. That is not Aurora. Okay? Now, you can get red Aurora. But these are not. These are SAR. Okay? And without going into a big bunch of explanation on it, come over here and start clicking on these hyperlinks right here. Okay? I'll show you this one. All right? This is when SARS happens. It's a heating effect that happens. And you can get cracks in the radiation belt. Okay? And it'll leak in this heat, the highly charged particles that are carrying a lot of heat, and it will interact with the atoms there, and that's what makes the color. Okay? It's not Aurora because that's the solar wind interacting with highly charged particles, exciting those other particles, not heat. Okay, it's exciting them, and then when they're going back to their stable state, that's when they produce the color. That's Aurora. This is not Aurora. This is SAR. Okay? And let me bring that back up again. Hold on. Okay, and again, I'm not going to sit here and dwell on this page because I want you guys to go check them out. Dr. Tony Phillips does a great job. I will give some credit here, though, because we showed the pictures here. I want to say some names here, if I can pronounce them. Vladimir Nurush, okay? That was in Latvia. Says that's Eastern Russia, all right? And then this one was Myart Veritu, okay? I probably just butchered that upside down, one and the other, okay? But I'm trying. I got, you know. Sorry, guys. But you can see, you know, Aurora appears when charged particles rain down from space. They hit the atmosphere, causing it to glow. Okay? That's a real basic explanation of that. I went a little bit different, but they're talking about the Russell-McPherson effect too. We'll go into that a little bit more at a later time. But that is why this G1 storm could possibly be happening from the coronal hole stream and the CME. Okay, so yeah. But let me mention before we get off of here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play this again so you guys can see it. Well, you know what? Let's just do this one. Take you up here and let you watch this because didn't really let you guys see this a whole lot. This is the 304 angstrom, guys. This is SDO. We can see ionized helium, and it shows filaments and stuff really, really well. Okay? But I do want to mention one more time the fact that a lot of people are getting unsubscribed. Not necessarily on my channel. I haven't seen a whole lot of it. Okay? I really haven't. But other channels are experiencing that. Now, I have been getting a lot of people telling me they're not getting the notifications, they're not doing all this other stuff, right? And I have had a few come to me and say, hey, I was unsubscribed. You know, is it a glitch? Is it something doing this way or the other? I'm not going to even try to figure that out. I'm just making you guys aware. So I would highly suggest that all the channels that you like to watch, check and make sure that you're still subscribed. Okay, like Johnny Scoville was talked about it in one of his videos. Okay, Chase the Heat. Please go check him out. You know, Tommy over on the lifeboat, guys. I mean, I shout these guys out all the time. Mark Pyers, he needs our support too. He's rough time on his channel right now. It's, yeah. So, and I need the support, you know. And I'm almost 100% now too, guys. I'll probably be starting memberships this coming week. So, but this is the 171 also. I forgot to show it to you. But if you're, just check and make sure you're still subscribed. Check the notification. Make sure you click all. Okay? And also, when you're in the live chat, you can look at what's called top chat or live chat. Top chat's just going to give you most of the comments in the chat, but it's not going to give them to you all of them. You got to hit all. You got to select that, or you won't be able to see all of it. So you might miss somebody's comment. That's all I'm saying. So you can check that too in your chat. It's that little 3-line thing you can hit, and it'll drop down a option for you. But here's that eruption here on the 171. It shows up on the 171 here also. So let me zoom in. It actually shows it pretty good here. So we'll wait for it to happen. But there it goes right here. So you can see how things get moved around. But if anything big happens, guys, I'll be back. You guys know me. If anything, you know, if not, I'll try to come back on tomorrow and give you guys an update. But I am almost 100% starting memberships next week. Thank you guys for all the guys that have been, hey Ricky, that have been, hey Miss, giving me super chats, super thanks. If you don't know what a super thanks is, it's a super chat, but you do it on a video that's already happened, and you can actually do it in the comment section. So I appreciate all that stuff, guys. It's helping me more than you guys could ever know. So thank you for that. It's never expected, but it most definitely is appreciated right now. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and pop off. Love all you guys. And again, share it out, and prayers, good thoughts, all that stuff. Please. Best thing you can do. All right. So God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.